Hi singers, my name's Christopher David Mitchell, vocal coach here in London, and today on episode 3 we're talking about singing is a vocal sport and singers, take your learning seriously. And please do stay to the end of the episode where we'll be doing our inspirational thought of the day. So let's get into it. So a lot of singing, we're really dealing with muscles and muscle coordinations. If you compare this to an athlete, a golfer, a tennis player, think about it. How many golfers are not practicing golf in some form or another, whether it be the driving range or playing the game, nearly every single day? I think Tiger Woods, at the height of his career, said that he was taking his golf clubs on holiday and there was maybe only a few days in a year where he wasn't playing golf. And of course, tennis players, how many of them will call themselves top professional and will want to be at that top level, but will maybe only play tennis once every 2-3 months? No, these tennis players, these golfers, these athletes, these runners, these swimmers, every single person, these people are in the gym, they are training their coordinations, training week in, week out. To be at that high level, you can't expect to be at that high level unless you put in the work. If you are a singer and you're wanting to be in the West End in a really great leading role, or a pop recording artist, then that is the top 1-2% of all the singers out there who go through drama school or who aspire to be the next big recording artist. So to be in that 1%, you're going to have to do, just by numbers, what the other 99% aren't doing. You're going to have to put in that real dedicated work to your craft. And like we say, with sports people, when you look at all the successful people, or even someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, those people had such dedicated routines week in, week out, where they were constantly training and developing their craft. But why is singing any different? Why would singing be different to this? But yet, we do treat it slightly differently. Partly it could be to blame with all these reality TV shows thinking that singers just have this natural talent and that's it, and then they don't think they need to practice. But really, I get singers who say they want to be in this 1%, this elite band of this top 1%, or at least top 5%, and yet they're not doing the work, the practice schedule that would reflect getting that goal and making that goal so much more likely and achievable. You get singers who come to me or other coaches once every 3 months, maybe 4 months, maybe 2 months. I want to tell you a quick story actually. I've actually got a singer who's a client, and she is brilliant. She has got so much natural talent. And there was a lesson where she sang, there was so much improvement in the voice. And honestly, I started welling up nearly at how much improvement she had made in the lesson. And then I didn't see her again for 3 months. And that's fine, because, you know, there are rare occasions where some people, for whatever reason, don't come back. But she did come back 3 months later. And I said, you know, how's things been? I haven't seen you for 3 months. And I know that you want to be this sort of leading West End lady. And she just said, well, I've been going to the gym, doing other stuff. And I said, hold on a second. What are you? Are you a singer? Are you a professional singer? Why are you compromising your singing schedule? If you've got time in your week, what's more important? Is it more important you go to the gym 4-5 times a week? Or if you're a singer, have you been doing a vocal workout 4-5 times a week? Now don't get me wrong, for her casting, it's important she does do a bit of everything. But how many singers are really sitting down, just like an athlete would, just like the golfer would go every day, the tennis player, like we say, they wouldn't skip a week. Test yourself now, be honest with yourself. How many of you singers out there are really have a weekly schedule with your singing? where on Monday you'll do a half-hour vocal workout, just like the athlete would train at the gym for half an hour. On Tuesday, you do something different, but it's a different vocal workout. You could record your lessons with me or another coach and then repeat those. And also there's a lot of online courses. I've got my Exceptional Vocal Warm-Up course, which singers can go through all the time. But point being is, no matter how you do it, are you definitely setting up that practice schedule? Are you practicing singing and scheduling your workouts 4 or 5 times a week? In my experience, there's not that many singers, unfortunately, that take this approach, this sort of serious approach to learning, if you want to be at that level. If you don't, and you're singing for fun, great. That's awesome too, and there's other things going on in your life, then just do it when you can, that's fine. That's like the golfer who just wants to play quite well at the weekends. But I'm talking here about these people who say they want to be in the top 1%, who say they want to be that lead in the West End or that recording artist, and yet when you get down to it, they're not doing the actions and the practice and treating it seriously like a vocal athlete would. So, I urge you here to take some action and actually schedule in vocal practice just as the athlete or the gym goer would schedule in their vocal sessions. 4 or 5 times a week practicing, you know, and mark out as well. Mark out how you're doing. Today I got up to top C. So by, next few weeks, maybe I want one more note. And then maybe in the next few weeks, one more note. Just as the gym goer would say, I want to raise the 5 pounds extra on the bar, 5 pounds extra on the bar. Chart your progress. I'm always here as well as a mentor to encourage you through this journey and help plan this out for you. But I encourage you to really change your thinking here and your mindset about singing. And don't just think that it's natural talent. I'll just turn up once every 2-3 months and that'll be good enough. If you really want the results of that top 1%, you have to be putting in real dedication, and also you have to be looking at what everyone else is doing, and you have to go the extra mile. So I hope that's helpful today, and let's go on to the inspirational thought of the day. So the inspirational thought of today is actually going to be quite similar, because today wasn't a very technical based vocal tip. So the inspirational thought today is mastery is in the doing. So to inspire you to take action, think about if you're going to learn to ride a bike, okay? You could read a lot of books on riding a bike. You could read the theory of what it might be like to ride a bike. Step 1, step 2, step 3. You could do so much research into the science of even riding a bike. But what does any of this mean unless you give it a go? And trust me, singing is one of these things that we learn from doing and we learn from experience. And so when you were riding a bike, you would suddenly realize that all the theory or things that you thought might work don't work. And then you change your approach slightly as you go. You tweak as you go. And so many singers I see get locked up inside of terms, theory, is it the CT, the TA, the false folds, the this, that and the other? I know all this stuff, but I would much, much rather, and you will see much, much more progress as a singer when you actually go out and do it. This is why you've got to be careful for anyone who talks the talk and doesn't walk the walk. And in my studio, I try to demonstrate every single vocal coordination because I've worked to get that in my voice. Why did I do it? Because I knew that I'd learn so much more from experiencing it rather than just reading about it. And that's absolutely true. And my approach to how the voice works has totally changed from really getting every coordination in my voice. Another way to think about it is if you'd have written a book on what it feels like to fall in love, and you did that before you fell in love for the first time, you might think you had a good idea about what it feels like, but then of course when it actually happens, then that's when we learn the most about it. It's just a funny example there, but I really hope that this just changes the mindset again with how important it is to get out there and take action with your singing. So it's 2019 now at the start. Put things in the calendar. So I don't care whether it's a vocal coaching session, a practice session on your own, a recording session, just book the studio, commit yourself to that. Stop procrastinating on it, and that will sort of hold you to that promise that you've made. Even put out a promise on social media or something that you're going to do a music video this year, or you're going to do a show reel or something. It's quite nice to have that there so that people can hold you accountable, and you can hold yourself accountable to promises. So book these things in the calendar, things that you know that you can experience. You can try and test singing, even if it's singing at sort of acoustic live sessions or anything, charity concerts, getting on stage in whatever way you can. That is going to be so much more beneficial for you. So if you're someone who is a theory person, a thinker, absolutely go out your comfort zone. Book in something that is singing in the act of doing and act of experiencing. You will learn so much more, I promise. So that's it for today. I hope this has helped. If you do want to continue working with me here, then we can take the action to the next step on a Skype lesson, in-person lesson coaching in London. Or of course, there's my online course, the Exceptional Vocal Warm course, something that you can do every day as a vocal workout. So I hope that's helped for today, and I'll see you next time, singers.